Hi, this is Pia from Metal and High Heels, standing here with Draconian. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're more or less the new singer in the band. How was your start?
Well, it was a rocky start because it was a bit of a problem getting all the visas sorted out. It took almost 2 years for me to get the visa. So I think that was the hardest part. I thought the hardest part was going to be having to go all the way across the world, auditioning for guys who I admired at that point, replacing a female who I admired. And I think a lot of people were talking nonsense into my head, like, yeah, but you're a replacement, they're going to hate you. But at the same time, I thought, yeah, okay, well, it can't be that hard if I just apply myself. So yeah, the hardest part was definitely the bureaucracy part of everything.
Okay. So what was the problem? Didn't they admit the work visa?
Sweden is a country that's liberal in their asylum for people from countries who are in war. So at the time I applied, there was war going on in Syria, and they had told me that my application could take 7 months to a year to process, and it was literally a year, and then I got it. So I was basically just pushed back because I'm not from a warring country, and which is fine, I understand. So that caused a bit of delay for us, but here we are. It worked out anyway. So
Okay.
yeah.
And you recorded an album together yet?
We have finished recording the pre-productions, and we had just started recording the drums for the new album. So, yeah, we're busy working on a new album.
Okay. And how was the working process together? Was
Well,
it different from before?
I think maybe you want to.
Yeah, I had a lot of the material written for several years ago, but Heike is bringing some good ideas, and her voice is completely different from Lisa's voice, and I have to try new ideas out, and she comes with very good ideas, and she has her own projects, and it's very musical, so it's been quite different,
But was it a problem somehow that you've written the songs before you knew her voice? Or did you think about, okay, it might sound good in this voice?
I'm like this, if I write some music, I know there's 100 possible ways to record vocals to it, and some way will fit perfectly.
He had sort of given me a good backdrop and given me freedom as well. It's not a case of, they tell me, okay, sing this. They give me the freedom to come up with melodies and stuff like that, and that's what I like doing. I mean, I love coming up with melodies, and especially sad and melancholy ones, which fits Draconian really well. So it might have been a very different working process for both of us, but at the same time I think we work well together because Johan and I both have a sort of a love for melancholy in a way in music. I think
Yeah,
because
I think we respect each other.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yes, of course. I think one of the biggest things for me, what I was nervous about, was meeting Johan, because I've always seen him as this very, very talented genius and quiet person. Johan's standing right here.
No, I'm not.
And I love his other Death Doom project, Doomus. I think I actually listen to that more than Draconian these days. I don't know. So yeah, I was really looking forward to working with him, and I said, I don't care if there's any difficulties, we just have to do it and make it work. So.
Okay. And when might the album be released?
Possibly early next year. Yeah.
If all goes according to process, but you never know what can happen.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for, so we can get out and play the festivals, and maybe get a tour in the fall. Yeah.
And you had cover songs on the former albums. Will there be cover songs on the new album too?
No, there won't be any cover song on this one, but we're recording something tribute to some bands. I can't say yet, but it's gonna be released in a different way, not on the album.
Okay. Do you have a title for the album yet?
No.
No.
I think once everything is done and we can listen to it and see the thread that runs through the music and really gather our thoughts and feelings about how everything fits together, then I think it'll come. I think it's not really that great to come up with names first and then adjust everything to that. So yeah, it's all about how we feel about it afterwards.
And expect from your voice and your new input, is there something else that is special on you to the album that you know yet?
Personally, I feel that there is a tad more melancholy, maybe in the feeling. I don't know if it's maybe a bit more atmosphere as well. Personally, I feel there's subtle hints of more beautiful atmospheres, like sort of soaring things. So, not that that was never there with Draconian before, but it's almost as if it's expanded a little and still reminiscent of old Draconian in a way. So,
but that's also a response to the way she sings and stuff, you know.
Thank you.
So
that's what I try and bring, you know, because I always say to myself, there's no way I can compare myself to someone as brilliant as what Lisa was, and I never aim to compare myself because I know that at the end of the day I have a different set of qualities that I want to bring to the band and to the music, and they saw that and they agreed with that, so that's, you know, what we're doing, and we hope people like it, so we're excited about it.
Yeah. It was your 20th anniversary this year or past year? This year, I think.
this year.
Yeah, congratulations to that. If you look back, especially you, are there some anecdotes you can tell us?
there have been many problems in the band. I can say for sure. It hasn't been an easy road. Many members left the band and getting new ones, but not funny anecdotes. No.
Okay, nothing from True Life or something.
It's a doom band.
I thought
bad luck and doom.
I thought black metal was serious, but Doom too. Okay, but because you've been in music business so long, how do you see the changes that are going on actually? Because there are some bands that do albums with crowdfunding and stuff like this, and before that there were labels. You had a band, you tried to go to a label. So how do you see the whole music business right now, looking back?
It's kind of difficult, and I'm not sure how I've adjusted myself yet. Just sinking in and getting feedbacks from everyone who's doing their thing with the crowdfunding and stuff like that. But I don't think that's the way to go, the crowdfunding thing. But I don't know. We have to see what happens.
I think when it comes to the crowdfunding, I've personally spoken to a lot of people from bands who are fed up with their contracts and fed up with the music industry because they realize at the end of the day the music industry does want to make money. And perhaps to some bands that's not the top priority, and maybe they'd want to play smaller shows for less and not have to run through labels, you know. I've personally heard people say that, and they've all done, you know, the Kickstarter thing, and it's worked for them. So I guess it depends on the person and how they feel about the music industry, because surely now with downloads and everything, it's not so easy to sell records anymore when it leaks before it's, you know, released. So maybe people have to push it really to actually earn a living doing music these days. So they're turning to one another for help, I think.
Yeah.
It depends on how you do it. I've seen some bad examples of it recently, but take a band like Marillion. They have done it for like 10 years.
Yeah, they're
Same
highly
thing.
successful.
Let the fans.
No,
Let's just ignore it.
it never happened.
No, it was right before.
I think I'm sticking to the wall as well. There you have some of my DNA.
Cool.
They let the fans pay the music before, and they write the music and they release it. So worked for them.
It's also about preference, really.
Yeah.
Depends on the band. Depends on everything, really.
Okay. You said you had problems with your visa and something. Do you live now in the country of the band, or do you still live?
I have a residence permit in Sweden, a 2-year residence permit, and if I find a job and if I can speak the language, then I'm allowed to stay.
And you want to do so?
Yeah, at least for as long as the band is going. You know, I do have friends and family and obligations back home that I can't just cut off from myself. So I will go and visit, and there's some community projects that I'm starting to help out with, you know, volunteering, and I feel like that's good for the future of the planet somehow, and I can't just be selfish and say, okay, I'm just going to stay here in this country and not care about anything else. But at least for as long as Draconian's going, I will be in Sweden.
Yeah, that would be my next question, because many singers do that when they come from another country, that they move to that one. And isn't it difficult to leave everything behind?
You see, the thing is that the difference between South Africa and Sweden is so big that people would say, well, you know, of course you'd want to live in Sweden. It's a first world country. Everything's self-sufficient and clean and whatever. But at the end of the day, there's a level of culture, and there's still my heart is still there where the culture is back home, and I can't just sever that and pretend like it's not a part of me. So I'm like a gypsy, you know. I sail my ship where the storm takes me. So you know, if it takes me back, then that's it.
Okay.
Gotta live life. You only really have.
I think it's the only thing to see it how you can manage it.
Yeah, and it's fun, you know. I mean, if you're in a country where you don't have a lot of opportunities, you get frustrated and you take it out on everyone around you, and you know, you get demotivated and you end up maybe not even wanting to do music anymore. So when an opportunity like this comes along, you can't just turn it down and go, no, it's too much effort, or it's too much this, I'm going to miss my friends too much, because people will understand. If they know you, they will understand. Yeah. And it's always been like that for me, because I'm this free thinking Aquarius type, like do what I want. So, you know, they'll just have to follow.
Okay, I'm finished with my questions, but is there anything you want to add or to say to your fans?
To the fans, I would want to say I am so grateful for all the endearing comments and all the support. I know it's tough, it's big shoes to fill, and I know that people have such deep connections with Draconian, and it's hard for some of them to get over that. But so far I have had immense, beautiful responses from people, more than I ever expected I would, and it's really, I take it with heartfelt warmth, and it means a lot to me, really. Thank you.